Welcome,
Welcome,
Housewives of True Crime.
Housewives of True Crime.
Uh-huh.
It's past Valentine's Day. I hope you all enjoyed it. But
Yes,
it is
and
Valentine's Day for us.
it is actually Valentine's Day, the day of love. I was so behind that I went and picked up Valentine's at the grocery store this morning at 6 a.m. and they were out, of course.
Of course.
So I found those little boxes, like they actually are for your Valentine, not actually for your classroom.
Uh-huh.
And I bought those.
Oh,
For a
well,
lot
that
of
must have
money.
cost you a pretty penny. Yeah.
Freaking fortune, dude.
Not me. I'm ahead of the game. I ordered all of that stuff online, didn't even have to go to the store and get it, and sent my kids all in Valentine's Day outfits today. I love that they are attaching themselves to a theme like me now. Like I did, I used to have to kind of be like,
nails.
hey, oh yeah, hearts, you guys.
Girl, you have too much time on your hands. I'm going to give you some extra work.
Oh,
our
stop
taxes
it.
are due.
Stop it. Yeah, it's lovely that they'll just do it themselves. Mm-hmm.
And we're dropping our episode on Tuesday this week because it's President's Day on Monday. And, people don't generally listen to podcasts when they have the day off of work, which I don't blame you.
So you're just keeping it real, telling them we don't want to get lost in the shuffle. We want the downloads. So
yeah.
Or you're welcome to make content. You're welcome.
We
reminded you to get your true crime fix. That's right.
Also, if you love us, please tell a friend because that would help us a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We need a housewives army over here. And also, if you want more of us, we're here on Thursdays for the Patreon or the Apple bonus. Some of you are probably like, dude, that chick just says that every single week. But
yeah, I'm one of those people. Shut up.
You would be surprised that people don't know. They always tell me.
Well, those people need to get some ginkgo biloba. Can't go below you.
I can't.
Like I like to call it. I want to hear about what I know that you didn't get anything for your husband if you can't even get your kids' shit together. So do you guys have plans? You're going out to dinner? Are you going to cook something?
God. Okay, so listen. I didn't. He told me he wasn't going to freaking buy me anything.
Oh, he likes to do that though. I think that he likes to do that just to make you feel like shit.
Feel bad? I know. What the hell, dude?
Because my husband, I think he likes to do the same thing.
Did he get you something?
No, but I know he's going to.
Yeah.
But he'll come home with like some flowers or something, which I'm like, I don't even want it.
I got a mug that says best wife, which is like the first time he's ever done something like that for me. Okay. That's definitely not in his character.
Next time you guys have a little marital spit spat, you can pull out that mug and go, remember? Okay.
Yes, and he got me some like bath scrub stuff, like a little like loofah thing, and I was like, okay, well, maybe his mom bought it. I'm thinking maybe his mom got that for him. Yeah.
Aren't we over the loofahs? I feel like they carry a lot of bacteria.
This one is one that says 5 uses only. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, because I think they're like a little funky.
I think that's probably true. 5 uses only. Mm-hmm. So anyways.
I bet they get a lot of DNA for crimes from loofahs. Those puffs. Remember when everyone was puff crazy?
Uh-huh. Yep. I think that does cause a lot of skin cells to be designated inside those little things. So you should not be leaving your loofah when you go murder somebody. Just saying.
Right.
But I do have a story for you, and it might contain a murder. So listener discretion is advised. Okay. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Consider
locked
yourself
and loaded.
Warned.
I'm warned. Murder.
Okay.
I shudder.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get started. Okay. All right, Gretchy. I don't think actually, I did tell you on our Patreon this last week that I was doing a case out of Texas, but I haven't done a case out of Texas in a long time. So we're bringing it back to the great state.
Giddy up.
Giddy up.
I'm on fire today.
You really are. Did you already have all of your coffees and everything?
I didn't have enough coffee today. That's the truth.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to drink more water. I'm on a cleanse, you guys. I'm like very bloated. I have a lot of problems right now. You don't want to know. I'm not going to bore you. I need to hydrate. So I'm not having enough coffee. And so maybe it's making me a little delirious.
It's good. Whatever it is, working. Mm-hmm. All right. So this time in Texas is a really big state. So I'm going to go close, but not super close to the place where all the celebs are, flocking to, and the commoners are flocking to. You know what city I'm talking about?
Austin.
Yes. Yeah. That is right. And you know what
cool. I know that.
You know what? Well, then you're going to know this too. What do they say about Austin?
Keep Austin weird.
Keep Austin weird. Right. We looked at Austin, and I'm thinking maybe we didn't choose Austin because I kind of don't like things weird.
I know. I do. I think I would vibe out in Austin. Dude, yeah, I love it.
That is what I was thinking also. I was like, Austin is totally your jam.
I just got back from Joshua Tree. I mean, give me some random art, bright colored shit. Makes me happy.
Listen, I was going to say, I had this in here. I was going to say, because you're a little bit like hippie. And then I was like, okay, I cannot say that. You're more boho. That's what you like.
Because we had a commercial for Home Threads, which I really do love everything I got from there.
I know, me too.
And Tab said in the ad that hippie. That makes me think of incense and tapestries and all like stuff you find in like a head shop. I informed her she can refer to my taste as boho. Thank you.
Yes. So that's why it's more boho. But listen, the stuff you got was really cute. I went on our account and I saw it, and it's very, very
The macrame thing is a little hippie, but whatever. It's working for me.
Okay. All right. Boho and weird. Austin is for you. And Austin also was for the Shaughnessy's, I'm going to call them. It's a very long last name, okay? They were living a very comfortable life in Austin. They were also Californites that transplanted to Austin, but way back in the day, like way before it was like the thing to do. Cory and Ted Shaughnessy were married for 30 years in 2018. They ran a very well-respected jewelry store called Gallery Jewelers. And these two didn't start off in the luxury diamond business. They actually started off in the pawn shop. At the pawn shop. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Isn't that at the car wash?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Car wash.
Okay, keep it moving.
Maybe I've done a little gummy myself this morning. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't do that. Okay. That's right. It is a car wash. Oh my God. It kind of goes together. All right. They started pawn shopping early on. Then it grew into something bigger. And by the time 1995 rolled around, it was more of like a luxury jewelry, not even luxury. It was kind of, it's the Austin jewelry. So they had different things. And according to Ted himself on Yelp, I'm going to tell you what he says. He says they opened their doors in 1995. And since then, the business has been growing and changing to accommodate the needs of their clients. He says their vision was to give Austinites a comfortable environment in which they can find particular kind of jewelry. They searched for unusual jewelry and constant change in their jewelry shop. Ted was the jeweler, and Cory, his wife, was the gem appraiser, and the two really did have a good thing going. I also didn't think about jewelers much before this case, but when I do think of them, like when I think back, I think some jewelers could really mean a lot to you because you're giving them a lot of money, right? For something that you're hoping is worth the money that you're paying for.
Yeah.
And so Ted said he became lifelong friends with a lot of his customers, and I don't doubt it. They were
Okay.
trustworthy people, and I think that's what you got to be when you're selling diamonds. So, not too long after the two opened up their shop in 1995, they wanted to start a family. And having a baby on their own was something that they always dreamed of, but it didn't come very easy for Cory. So, they decided to adopt a baby from overseas. A beautiful 16-month-old baby boy would soon be part of Cory and Ted's family. They would name him Nicholas. Nicholas was the only child of the two that they ever did have, and they had a great life. Nicholas was like an only child, and so he probably had only child syndrome. I don't know. They just they adored him.
I
They
know,
loved
don't hate
him.
us, but I have a couple of friends that are only children, and it comes up in conversation. Like, yeah, girl, you got to share. Okay.
I know.
Thankfully, I don't hang out with anybody that doesn't have a sense of humor, so they can take it.
I know, but it's kind of true, right?
It is a thing. I do also know only children who are not like that at all. So I just figured they had a bunch of cousins or something.
Cousins. Yes.
Yeah.
I just think you never fight when you're an only child. So you don't even know how to deal,
you don't know. Or maybe you're a little too vicious. Like, you don't pull those punches. You got to let things escalate. Right?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I had siblings, so I don't know. But my niece has siblings, but they're 20 years older than her. And so she's an only child. But so that's only the only little one that I know. And out here in Texas, people have 5,000 kids. So
yeah,
there's not a lot of them. But anyways, Nicholas was one of them in Texas. Ted loved Nick. He took him to the racetrack. They went go-karting. I'm sure he thought Nick would eventually join the family business. Nick was an entrepreneur in his heart. Even being a young kid, he hustled at high school, sold shit. He was always trying to make a buck. Kind of reminds me of my Colton. He's selling slime right now at school. He's already made $70, by the way.
He gets his hustle from his mama.
I know. I'm okay, you go. And he has a little tally sheet that he tallies all his slimes up. I'm okay.
Oh, she could not be more proud.
Wasn't even I was not on my idea. I was okay, you go, kid. All right. So after high school, he wanted to make it rich quick. I mean, who doesn't? So he decided instead of going to college, he was going to be a day trader on the stock market. And his parents were gung-ho. They were in for it.
Sounds smart. Yeah.
They liked the entrepreneurial spirit. And let me just end entrepreneurial spirit. Before Nick graduated high school, he had met a girl named Jacqueline Edison. She was a newbie to Texas. Jacqueline moved to Texas to live with her dad. Her parents were divorced, and she kind of seemed like a lost soul. Cory, Nick's mom, took her right in. She treated her like the daughter she never had. I can imagine only having one kid. That's really easy to do. You're oh, yes, thank God for somebody else to come in here and let me shop for her. And it's the girl. So she would take her shopping, cook for her. She found comfort in helping Jacqueline and seeing her son so happy with this nice girl. Jacqueline also loved being with the Shaughnessy's. According to her, her dad was abusive. And so having somewhere to go with a tight-knit family was something that she yearned for. After Jacqueline and Nick graduated high school, Jacqueline got accepted to Texas A&M, which, do you know that about that college?
I do.
Mm-hmm. You do.
My friend Wendy went there and played volleyball for them. So that's how I know.
Well, she must have been a real good volleyball player.
She still plays. She is real good.
Really into their sports there. I think they say go Aggies, right? I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah.
The campus is about 2 hours away from Austin in a town called College Station. And that is where Jacqueline and Nick would move so Jacqueline could go to school and Nick could be the day trader. He borrowed about $30,000 from his parents to start his trading business, and that then left Cory and Ted empty nesters for the first time in 19 years. But it wasn't so bad because 2 hours is not that far away. So, if the two wanted to come home for a nice meal or whatever, they could. All right, so while all seemed well in the world, in March of 2018, Ted and Cory were sleeping when they were woken up by a noise in their house and their dogs barking. They had 2 Rottweilers, by the way, which are pretty scary dogs, in my opinion. So I would not be wanting to break into anybody's house that had a damn Rottweiler.
No, siree.
But Ted said it sounded like somebody was in their house at 4:30 in the morning. Not a time that the dog should be barking. Ted grabbed his gun and Cory did what I think we all would do in this situation and kind of just sat there in fear, hoping that it was nothing. But when Cory heard gunshots being fired, she knew it wasn't just nothing. Cory, being a badass, she grabbed a gun herself and was like, okay, I'm going to arm myself and sit here and see what the hell is going on, right? So shortly after those gunshots were fired, she was bombarded with bright lights coming right at her. It was dark. It's 4:30 in the morning, so the house is all dark, but all she could see is white lights, and she knew that it wasn't Ted, or Ted would be talking, So
Right.
Cory just started to shoot. She shot towards the white lights, and there were shots fired towards Cory, killing actually one of her dogs in the crossfire. Cory shot until her gun was out of ammo and then ran into the closet to call 911. Cory was terrified. She told the operators she heard shots, didn't know where her husband was, but didn't hear anything in the house any longer. The dispatcher had her stay put until the police arrived. And when they said, you kind of stay on the phone and then they say, okay, the police are there. You can come out now or whatever. When she came out, there was no one there, but she did see her husband lying on the kitchen floor dead. The police had actually gone to the wrong house. So finally, when they figured out the right house, it was 15 minutes after the call had come in and the intruders were long gone.
Right.
Cory was beside herself. Her husband, business partner, and best friend was gone. Police immediately take her outside. They put her in the patrol car to clear the scene, gather evidence, try to make sense of what the heck just happened at the Shaughnessy's house. While Cory was waiting in the car alone, she called her son Nick in College Station to tell him the news and really kind of seek comfort, She could hardly get the words out of her mouth while she was crying and telling Nick that his father was dead and someone was trying to kill her too. Nick was shocked. He told his mom that he'd be right there. And I think they both were kind of thinking that somebody must have robbed them or wanted to come in there to rob them because they were jewelers and probably had diamonds and cash on hand, which I'm sure they had some, but not. If I was a jeweler, I wouldn't be keeping a bunch of diamonds in my house. Just saying.
I don't know. Because I feel like I don't know. Would you or would you not? Because if you have a jewelry shop and you keep a bunch of loose diamonds in the safe, yeah. And listen,
I know. I don't know.
Every employee has some shady friend. I mean, maybe you keep that at your house so that they don't,
yeah, you might be right.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think that I never realized being a jeweler was so dangerous.
I know. Well, listen, they lived in a nice house. They were pretty rich.
Okay.
But they were not robbed. Although, she started shooting at them, so maybe they just ran off, right? They did not take anything except for Ted's life. So they thought, was this really a robbery, or was this a tale that we see too often of jealousy and rage amongst spouses that turn deadly? What do? They bring Cory down to the station and they question her to the point where she's like, shit, I feel like I'm being looked at, which, of course, she would be, right? It's
Right.
usually close to home. She had gunshot residue on her hands. Her husband was dead. There was no one around. She looked like she could be a suspect. They also brought Nick and Jacqueline down to the station to question, those two also. And everybody, even Cory, they were just really forthcoming and eager to help. Nick said he hadn't been to Austin in a few months and he didn't really know who would want to kill his dad. And Cory had no idea either. And then, Jacqueline's just the girlfriend. So there was no bad blood that anyone knew of. As police did their job, Cory was thankful that she had her son, Nick, and Jackie by her side. The two kids actually moved back from College Station to Austin to be with Cory. They moved in with her. They just wanted to help her get through it. Jackie and Nick had actually secretly gotten married just weeks before Ted's murder, and they'd never told Cory or Ted. So when they moved back to Austin, they had a little surprise, oh, guess what? We're married and now I'm your daughter. And Cory was in for it. She was like, I didn't expect my 19-year-old to get married, but it seemed like a positive thing and she really needed some sort of positivity in her life. So she was like I'm going to embrace this. She gave Jackie a ring that was passed down through the family and really embraced her as the daughter that she never had, even more so than in high school when she was living with them. Or not living with them, but she was kind of staying with them often.
Okay.
Well, a little more than a month after Ted's passing, Cory was able to open up the jewelry store again, stating that to all the customers that she was happy that Gallery Jewelers was going to be open back up and proud that her son Nick would be taking over the business and follow in his father's legacy. But that legacy didn't last long because while Cory, Nick, and Jackie were trying to pick up the pieces of their lives and hold on to what they had left, police were working tirelessly putting together their own puzzle as to who would kill this man and also want to take out his lovely wife. And to that, they would find the pieces were very, very close to home. You see, Nick, when he showed up, he was real eager to help, like I told you, right? He wanted to find the killers and offer words of advice to the police. But what he didn't realize was that they were smarter than him, and his own ways of helping them would pave a way to just how it all went down. Nick showed them his nifty little app on the phone that activates the alarm system at his parents' house. And it can show you when it's been last activated and whatnot. Well, they noticed that it had actually been activated just shortly before the 911 call. And why would it have been activated from Nick's phone before the 911 call? That's odd. Another weird thing that they noticed right away was Nick immediately went over to the window that the intruders used to get into the house, which was his bedroom window. And they never told him that that's where the intruders came in at. Nick also didn't really show signs of remorse as they thought he should. However, listen, I think everybody's different with that. And I do think there are some people that would be more like, I want to help you figure this out. This is tragic for my mom. And I want to figure out who did this. But they did take that into a red flag note. The more they dug, the more they were able to find. And at the end of May 2018, both Nick and his wife Jackie were arrested for aiding and abetting in the murder of Ted Shaughnessy. You see, these two, well, they were real a-holes. Nick's trading business turned out to be a bust. And Jackie, well, she wanted more. So the two devised a plan to have Nick's parents killed. They had planned it out like all of her text message, which is real stupid. Okay. Like they're really amateurs, in my opinion.
Don't put anything in writing.
They deleted their text messages, which also the police were like, well, there's a big chunk of like messages deleted between you two. Wonder what that means. And they forgot to delete all the messages off all of their devices, just their phones, and sometimes it like shows up on your computer.
Yeah.
The texts were Jackie and Nick talking about paying $50,000 for the killing. Nick even threw around the idea to more than one person in his circle of friends about killing his parents. He asked a woman in his apartment complex if she would be into murdering for money. Of course, she was like, no deal, dude. The fuck? I think she also didn't really think he was serious because he kind of like joked about it, like, ha ha ha. But maybe he finally
I kind
found
of feel
somebody that
like
was
we
like,
hear that a lot where they say, I didn't really think they were serious. But, I think maybe you got to just go make a little complaint. Like,
I
just for the
know,
record, I'm not fucking involved. And this fool said this.
right?
Keep
I
an eye out.
know. Like
Also, why did he
before,
hate his parents so bad? Did they forget to go get the Valentines in elementary school and left him traumatized with a broken heart?
probably. It's like,
Probably.
what the fuck? I better go. I
Yeah.
need to like wrap this shit up so I can get to the kids' Valentine's Day
Yeah.
party
Uh-huh.
with some Valentines in hand. Okay.
Well, you better, because you
I
want to
know.
live. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a um, public service announcement by
Right?
Gretchen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to get there a little bit, but I, and I don't want to say that he had only kid syndrome, but I just want to warn you guys out
Could
there.
be sense of
Like,
entitlement. Yeah.
I think that we all, whether you have one kid or 50 kids, you cannot have them be entitled assholes
Right. Yeah.
because they're also, listen, I want to think like that something happened to him probably before he was 16 months old that was probably pretty tragic. No one will know. He doesn't know either, but there was some fucking screw loose,
Right.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie, on the other hand, I don't know what the hell that girl had. I mean, yes, like who cares? Like your parents got divorced, your dad was an asshole. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you're an asshole too.
Meet half the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, like sorry, girl, I'm not giving you a pass on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, although they didn't find the girl in their apartment complex to be the killer, they did find someone that was that took them serious and was serious about doing it. His name was Johnny Leon. He was just another kid in the area. Like, what an idiot. They promised Johnny $100,000. And actually, Nick and Johnny made a dry run sometime in February. And Nick was gonna, and actually, I think Nick and Jackie also thought about doing it themselves at one point, but they couldn't do it. So they found Johnny. Johnny and Nick went out there. They couldn't do it, got cold feet. But by March, Johnny had talked another friend into carrying out this act, sharing some money with him. His name was Arian Smith to tag along for cash. And Johnny and Arian were the ones to kill Ted that night, with Jackie and Nick back in College Station waiting the results that would come.
And was the plan to kill
Both.
Cory as well?
Yes.
Awful.
But when Cory started shooting, they're like, we're out of
Right.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And when the two were arrested on May 29th, 2018, I mean, poor Cory had really lost it all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot even imagine being this poor woman. Thankfully, the four, I will say kids, because they were like 19 years old. It feels really young to me. Although they were adults, so not kids, but young adults. They would plead guilty, all four of them. The three men each got 35 years in prison, which in Texas, I think that's pretty light sentence, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And Jackie, well, I don't actually know how the heck this happened, but her sentence took way longer. She was bailed out, and she awaited sentencing for a while. COVID happened, so it got pushed. Her sentencing didn't come until 2023, which was very recent. So she had a few years just kind of living her life. And in those few years, she divorced Nick, which was
shocking.
Shocking. She went to college to UT Dallas and got a degree. And then she was finally sentenced in 2023. And I want you to kind of guess what she got.
5 to 7.
She got.
But you're going to tell me probation.
Yeah,
10.
She got 10 years probation, girl.
10 years probation. I knew you were kind of pissed about it. And so I was like, you're going to tell me probation. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, this is the craziest jail sentence I've ever heard. 10 years probation with 2 days in jail served every single year for 10 years on the anniversary of Ted's death.
Okay, I don't hate that. I do think she should have had more substantial jail time. I'm really surprised because, in those southern states, they hate like a black widow, a woman that comes in and manipulates, like they cut them no slack. Usually they take a harder fall. Where here in California, if a woman is manipulative, they're like, she must have had a bad childhood. Let's,
right.
like whatever.
Yeah.
Right. It's painted very different ways. So that's surprising.
It is really surprising. And she had to.
But California all moved to Texas anyways, so maybe that's what happened.
Right. I don't know. She did have to surrender her passport and request to go on vacation from her probation officer.
Oh, I mean, poor baby.
Really, I think it was a slap in the face to Cory. Upon her sentencing, Cory did have some statements that they played. Cory was not there in person, and I don't blame her. I think I wouldn't want to
face my children that killed my husband. Yeah, probably not.
I don't think so. She did have she'd read something and they played it at the sentencing, and I'm going to read you a portion of it.
Okay.
She says, "Do you remember your 19th birthday? I took you out for lunch and a day of shopping at Nordstrom. Your husband, Nicholas, surprised you with a Coach purse and that you had wanted. And I gave you a half-carat diamond solitaire pendant. It was your birthstone. And more importantly, it was your first birthday gift I have given you, my new daughter-in-law, as a way to welcome you to the family. Today is my birthday. I don't have much to celebrate anymore, but I am still alive. I'm alive because your plan, together with your husband, to have me murdered alongside your father-in-law didn't succeed. Don't get me wrong, there are many days that I wish you had succeeded and that I had died. I can't look at photos of your husband, my son, or you, my daughter-in-law, without wondering exactly when you began to plan our deaths. Ted and I took you in when you said that you had nowhere to go, that your father beat you and you were afraid to go home. I guess after you and Nick shared all those Sunday dinners with me, Ted, Nick's grandparents, uncle, and family friends, you'd go and plot some more to kill us. You could have saved Ted with one phone call. That's all it would have taken, just one. Ted was a good man, a good father, a good friend, and my husband of 30 years. You conspired with Nicholas to have him killed. We opened our home and our hearts to you, and you and Nicholas took everything from us. How long will it take for you to find another family to destroy? How long will it be before Bonnie finds her Clyde? You are a monster. You are evil, and everyone needs to know it."
That's good.
I know, right?
Poor woman.
God,
yeah.
So sad for her. I think it probably stung, right? But girl is living her life. No repercussions. 2 days in jail every year. What the fuck? My opinion, it's a slap on the wrist with a diamond on top.
Yeah.
And I just hope she does a lot of charity work for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Right. I
Is
did
she
look her up.
yeah, is she an attractive lady? Will she have a hard time finding a new boo?
No. She's young. So she's
She's
like
young. Yeah.
everybody's attractive when they're
Everyone's
young.
attractive when they're young. That's true.
I keep
And
seeing I keep seeing young people and I'm like, gosh, like every young person is pretty to me. Like they just
oh,
have
I
the
know.
skin and the
They've
round
still got their
face and
collagen and shit.
oh,
I know. Screw 'em.
yeah.
Yeah. I think the 35 years thing, it's kind of like goes either way because I get it. Like they're 19, they don't have all their cerebral
Yeah.
developed that they clearly it has not even sunk in. But it's like, what is 35 years in a Texas prison going to do to them? Is it going to make them better people?
I hope so.
I hope so. I
I
mean,
hope
that is
so.
why prison reform is so important because let's hope that when they get out of there that they contribute positively to
Listen,
society
they're not
because
even going to be
otherwise
that
they're going to come
old.
over and they're not even going to be that old and they could be hardened and not be able to find employment
Yeah.
and just become worse.
Jerks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 100% true because I think he's up for parole in 2035. And so he's not going to be that old. He's going to be what in his 30s, late 30s? I mean, not, he will not be that old. So,
Yeah.
I mean, how long is that? That's 10 years. If he's
Math is not our strong suit.
25, 35, what? Yeah, it's not. But I mean, he's going to be whatever, 39, 40. He did sit down with Crime Watch after he went to jail to give an interview, and they asked
Okay.
him what he was thinking and why he wanted his parents dead. And his response was that he and Jackie wanted his parents' life. They looked at his parents and the status they had in the store, and it was inspiring. And instead of aspiring to be like his
Entitlement.
parents, they wanted to be his parents. And so they wanted to kill them to take over that life. And Nick was the sole beneficiary of that store. And they had $2 million life insurance policy, which he was the sole beneficiary of, and million like they were
Oh my God.
multimillionaires. So they had like
Okay. First of
accumulated a lot
all,
of wealth.
never tell your kids about the life insurance
I know, right?
policies.
Never. Like
Never.
never.
Never. They could have some shady ass friend that just wants to mooch off your kid once they
Mhm.
benefit from it. Never
Yeah.
tell your kids about that. Oh, geez. And Nick, at 19, let me tell you, you're not supposed to have that life. It
I
really F's
know.
you up in the head if you do.
Right.
Honestly. Look,
Right.
I mean, I'm doing a bonus crime about this Courtney Clinny, who that's a whole other story. But the OnlyFans model, all these influencers making so much money. You're supposed to be eating top
A
ramen,
ramen.
okay?
Yes. And college.
Working
Yes.
long
Yeah.
hours.
That's true.
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
That is what you're supposed to be doing. I think it needs to be a little hard. Like his parents did not get to where they were by somebody handing it to them,
Yeah.
like they worked for it. And it was going to be handed to him. For sure, they were going to have him
But
take
you
over
got to
that
be working
business.
for it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's
Um,
what you're supposed to do, or you'll never appreciate it.
yeah. So at first, he said it was kind of a lighthearted joke between him and Jackie that just turned into very sinister reality. He told the reporter that, like I said, that him and Jackie went to do it before, but they chickened out. And then they gave their friend like $1,000 and then they were going to get the rest when it's always get the rest when
Yeah.
we collect that life insurance policy. He does Oh, he did say that he said that he hired the friends, but he didn't know when they were going to actually do it, which doesn't make sense in terms of why he turned off the alarm or opened that alarm app. So I don't know why he would lie to the reporter about that. I can only assume that maybe it
Because
makes
he's
him feel a
stupid.
little
He's
bit
so stupid. He
better.
talked to a reporter. They're going to play that at his parole, you know,
Right. I know.
interview. I mean, nothing is off the table. So, yeah, he's dumb. That's why.
He is remorseful. He says that he hates that he made this bad decision. He's
Yeah,
really
I'm sure
sorry
because he got
to his
caught.
mom. I know. I mean,
You're lucky I'm
can
not on
you
the parole board,
believe
kid.
that he went went and lived with his mom after and had to like
Diabolical.
how do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
He says that he's real sorry. He writes his mom in prison and hopes one day to mend the relationship, but Cory is not into it. She will
Yeah,
not
don't
talk
blame
to her
her.
son.
Nope.
She said she has written him letters, but will not send them because he doesn't get the satisfaction. Um,
Yeah,
and on
I
a
like it.
Dateline episode, she said, ghosts can't talk, and he tried to kill me.
Yeah.
And she is really, man, she is really the victim in all of this. It is so sad. And it's like, it's greedy. It's greed. That's what
Yeah.
drove this kid to do that. And both of both him and Jackie had some twisted head going on. And I don't know. The other two kids that they hired need help too. So hopefully they all get it
Mm-hmm.
in prison. But see, the fact that what's her face doesn't go to prison is it's like you don't is there any are you going to do it again? Are like there's no punishment, there's no like
Well,
I
I don't
don't
think she would
know.
do it again, but I don't think it would stop her from being manipulative again if there's no repercussions.
Mhm. Yeah. She seems like she's real into Jesus now, so I really hope so.
Yeah.
God save your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope she is a Jesus follower and
It's not just a front.
mhm.
Sometimes it is.
Oh,
But
trust me. You know what? Let me tell you. I have somebody very close to me in my life right now, not a friend, but somebody that I'm working with. And she is all about like putting how much she gives and Jesus and all the stuff. And she is stealing and being manipulative and taking people's money behind their backs. I'm like, girl,
yeah.
you can't be both. Sorry.
Yeah, it's doubly bad. It is. Mm-hmm.
People will find out that you're a fraud.
They will. What happens in the dark comes to light.
Mm-hmm. It's true. All right, so that's the case
Okay.
for the week. And did you just talk about your bonus crime?
I
That's on
sure did.
Patreon. Is that coming
Uh-huh.
out this week or next week?
It is coming out next
Soon.
week.
Oh, next
Next
week.
week.
Okay, so you guys sign up now.
Listen, this
That one's
Courtney
going to
Clenny
be a
case, we
good
all
one.
saw the footage on TMZ, right? I mean, I didn't know who she is. Believe it or not, I don't. With all my
Blonde
extra
hair,
time, I don't hang out on OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
But yes,
You know what? We should hang
because
out
we
on
all saw it
OnlyFans.
because she is the model that she was in a high-rise apartment when her boyfriend was stabbed, and somebody from another high-rise videoed it, and she's like covered in blood.
Oh my God.
And so then it's like, who is this person? TMZ got the video, and then everyone started following because, I mean, I don't think she's famous now,
I
but,
know, you
there's a
guys.
lot of people out there that have 2 million followers, but yeah,
Yeah.
now she's, real
Gretchy
famous for
is
all the
going to
wrong
tell
reasons.
all of it on our Patreon, our bonus. If you listen on Apple,
Yeah.
just go to the Clink Clink Club, subscribe there. You'll get more content than you ever knew what to do with. And
True.
also, listen to this crazy story. So, my girlfriend was at the Dallas Galleria yesterday eating dinner and at one of the restaurants. And I'm thinking, I don't even know. I haven't talked to her more than just like the text message she sent me when it happened. But this man jumped from the top down, like right in
Oh,
front of them.
that's so awful.
Yeah, so awful. And this is like the third person that I've heard of recently doing something crazy like this. This person jumped off a mom. Did you hear about the one like a producer's wife in LA?
I did hear about that recently. We all got an Amber Alert around here last night, and this one
Mhm.
I mean, they're all bad, but this one was really bad because it was in Long Beach and the mom left her 4-year-old in the car with the car running while she ran in a store.
No.
I mean, worst nightmare.
Oh my God. Okay, so because a lot of times you get the Amber Alerts and it's like their family member,
It's like it's like the
you
dad took
know,
the kid or
and
whatever, which it's
yeah,
always terrifying, but I mean, it's
terrifying, but at least it's a family member. When this is a stranger took the kid,
Mhm.
I would
Mhm.
fucking die. And I mean, I don't even know, like, what do you do?
And you blame
What do you do?
yourself, of course, right? Because you're the
100%.
one I mean, it's just so awful. I hope they find this little boy.
It's a boy.
Mhm.
Not that it matters, it's a boy or a girl, but what the hell?
Yeah.
4 years old? Oh, I don't know if you find them. How do you find them?
Okay. Hopefully these
That's
people
so
that
sad.
whoever I don't
I
think they
can't.
meant it wasn't a intentional kidnapping. I hopefully they just wanted to steal the
Oh, wait, they
car.
took the car?
They took the car
Oh, okay,
with the
okay,
kid
that's
was in
better.
it.
Okay, okay.
So
Hopefully they
hopefully
stole the
they
kid off
just
the
like
side on
pull
the road.
over and are like,
Yeah,
"Scram, kid."
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good, good. God, you scared me. I thought they, like, opened the door and took just the kid.
No.
They
No,
stole
no,
the
no. She
car.
left the car running, went in a
Okay,
store, left the kid in the car.
car's gone. Got it. I thought I did
Mhm.
that once in, the parking lot, remember? And I went out the wrong door, called the police,
Oh yeah.
was just on the other side of the parking lot.
Mhm.
I think that's all for today. I'm going to go, Valentine my kids' school up right now. And hopefully you all have a really wonderful week. And check out 5 Crimes, the body scrub. Use it on your face. It has hyaluronic acid. It makes your skin feel like the best skin you have ever had. I promise you. Look at my skin now. You guys want to check us out on YouTube, okay? It's the best it's ever looked. I promise you will
Okay,
love
I have
it.
good news. We're going to leave you on a high. I just looked
Please
up
tell
that
me
Amber
they found
Alert.
it.
They
Yes,
found him.
they found him.
Yeah.
Ah,
They found the
thank
little boy.
heavens. I almost was like throwing up. Like my stomach hurts so bad.
Yeah.
So thank God.
God, that Amber Alert
Oh
is
my gosh, I hate
effing
that.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really awesome.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Cutest little boy. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day.
5crimes.com. Happy Valentine's Day. It's a week late, but whatever.
Oh, they just left the car behind. They were like, shit, there's a kid in there. And just left him in the car. They just found the
Good.
abandoned car.
Oh
Yes.
my
Oh,
God.
I love he wasn't hurt.
Jesus.
This is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Clink clink on that.
Clink clink.